So welcome to our first all personnel meeting since about this time last year. We missed our fall meeting because of COVID, and I'm glad that we're able to be technical enough to do it at least virtually. So I just have a quick question before we go on. We're sort of looking back in this portion of the meeting. How many of you happened to see the sunrise this morning? I saw it and it was beautiful. It just I just had to stand there and look at it for a few minutes. I took that as a sign of colors and light that will point us in the direction of recovery for this year and continued stamina and resilience. So with that said, let me also hasten to say thank you. Thank you to every single one of you. You have assisted in accomplishing one of the greatest challenges that is known to most of us. This has been, who in their wildest thoughts and minds would have thought we would be faced with this for over a year. But you've risen to the challenge and we have survived, and it's because of you, every single one of you. Don't think for a minute that because you're not doing this or not doing that, that you don't have an impact on how we are recovering as an institution with COVID. Thank you all. I don't know if Susan Austin is on the meeting here with us today or not, but Susan, if you are, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to reflect on a comment you made a couple of weeks ago in one of our strategic planning sessions. Susan and I served on a subcommittee, if you will, that was looking at opportunities, strengths, weaknesses, threats, and that SWOT analysis. And when we were dealing with strengths, Susan piped up and said, you know what? I think one of our biggest strengths right now is in the way we have faced COVID. We've done it better than most. And she had a perspective for why she could say that. Her perspective was based on her son's attendance at a North Carolina university who did not respond very well. And so she could see that through him. And then she had conversations with many other institutions and colleagues across those institutions, all of whom seemed to say to her, yeah, we're sort of envious of the way you all have recovered and responded. So again, thank you all so very much. I hope that I won't have to thank you too much longer for how we have survived COVID. We can move on to some other types of appreciation. So when do we get back to usual? And I use the word usual purposefully. It will probably never get back to normal, but if we do usual enough, it will become our normal. We're planning a phased approach to returning for all of our staff, and all of our staff should be back in seats by May the 10th. And we will continue to be flexible with those individuals who have, for example, children who, especially if the school system is not learning in 5 days a week and may need some assistance from parents on the 1 day or the 2 days they have to be at home. So we'll be flexible, but then we will all be back on August the 2nd, and that's the first day for our faculty contracts, and staff will continue on, and we'll all be here together on August 2nd. Now, that's depending on the circumstances. You know, we've made plans before and had to change them quite often, but that's what we're shooting for. And so I hope that you can put that into your approach to getting rejuvenated for this coming year. Again, I express my very deepest appreciation to everyone who has helped us through this process. Many of you have been sick. Many of you have had other circumstances come up that were COVID related, and yet we've been resilient, and I'm so grateful to you for that. So let me set the tone a little bit as we go on for the rest of this meeting with a little bit of good news. When we started back the fiscal year, you all know we were facing some very significant budget issues. We had enrollment growth the previous year, but that enrollment growth money, which should have been about $1.2 million to our overall budget, was given to us in this way. It was given to us as non-recurring funds, which means we could not spend it on anything that we would have to sustain it on. It was given through the federal CARES Act money, and that's a reason that it was non-recurring, and it had to be spent by December the 31st on COVID-related situations that we found here. So that was a big challenge for us to start. And then the state decided that we don't know what COVID's going to do to us, and we are going to project loss of revenue in tuition receipts. And so they asked us to hold 2% of our overall budget, which for us is about in the neighborhood of $550,000. Because of COVID and because of tuition receipts, we did have to send some of that back. We were hopeful we wouldn't have to send any, but we were delighted we didn't have to send it all. At the end of the day, we had to send back in the neighborhood of $400,000 in our budget. That left us about $150,000 to put with other available funds and generate for each and every employee who qualifies a $750 bonus. And that bonus will be showing up in your March paycheck. Now, the qualifications are as follows. You have to have been an employee at JCC as of July 1, 2020, have to be employed still as of today, and not on any sort of probation or improvement plan. So I'm delighted to be able to say that to you. It is certainly not enough. You deserve way more, but I hope if nothing else, this will help ease the pain just a little bit. If some of you can be expecting federal dollars to come to your bank accounts, the state salary increase, we're working very hard on that. And we hope that it's going to be significant for community college employees this year. And because of those things, I am very hopeful for a more prosperous 21-22. Well, that's all I have to open up with, and I hope that delights you as much as it does me to be able to do it. And with that, I'm going to move on to Dr. Wells, who will be the second portion of our agenda here. Dr. Wells.
Everyone. Thank you, Dr. Johnson. A couple of things I want to share with you today. We need your help in pushing out our academic works, which is our scholarship portal, to notify students. And it's really important if you'll help us as faculty and staff to do that. The portal actually is opening today, and it will close on June 1st. And because much of our scholarship funding is permanently endowed, meaning that the principal's held and then the earnings are what we spend, or a portion of the earnings. We've had a great year in our investment pool, so we have a substantial amount of scholarships to be able to award. So I hope you'll help us with that. Also, a little new this year is we're going to do the ambassador program. The applications are being accepted through academics works this year, so a little different than that. We'll still have the interviews and the traditional way in which we've done that, but they will apply through our academic works portal. Want to let you know we've got some good professional development funds still available. If you can utilize those through the end of May, please take advantage of them. We raised that money through our annual unrestricted fund drive, so I hope you'll take advantage of that. Likewise, our back to class scholarships, there's quite a bit of money left for our people that have taken a class here to also take advantage of that. And part of that is because the GEAR funding that came in to be awarded to us, we had a kind of an overflux, if you will, of scholarship funding relevant to that. So we're really wanting to try to utilize those back to class. And if there are students who may be eligible for GEAR, they can use those funds, obviously, but others that are considered alumni, meaning they've taken a class, then we can certainly help them and support them through that. The Student Emergency Support Fund, which we started this year, is going extremely well. Again, a reminder, we have funds for those. We just helped a family last week, a student family that were living in a hotel. So we helped pay them and give them a little bit of stability to get them until they can get some permanent housing. So that's really critical. Typically, we award up to 250 per academic year, and are utilizing that again to try to really help our students that may be in some unusual and trying circumstances right now. I want to thank everybody who attended our breakfast before business. I kind of like doing these virtual events because it allows more people to come. So we're thrilled for those of you who are able to participate in it. And we have another event coming up May 5th. It's the Linda Van Lassiter Women's Society. And that's going to be a virtual event. It's May 5th. That's actually Linda Lassiter, who, if you will recall, we started this initiative after she passed suddenly December 2018, and it helps support scholarship funding. So be on the lookout for that. I hope you'll be involved. As for grants, we have at this point since April 2020 received $6,697,636 in federal funding. And this is to support both the college as well as students. Of that amount, a little over 2.2 million has been used for student aid. So scholarship funds, that sort of thing. There's very strict guidelines, but Betty Woodall and her team do a great job in terms of facilitating that. The other portion is used for really, it has very specific and strict guidelines relevant to instruction and the delivery of instruction during this time, as well as very specific to our ongoing operations during the pandemic. So I want to thank Mike and his team, everyone really that sits here on AC, how they've been able to facilitate that. And I also want to thank Daphne Lewis and Julie Harrison on my team who really helped in assisting with this as well. We know that we're going to get some additional funding. And it's going to have similar guidelines, so we'll let you know more information about that as soon as we get it. Other things, Howard's got some great camps. Go to the website. They've got some really cool camps lined up this summer for the 8 to 12-year-old, as well as 13 to 15. There's a spring break camp that's coming up. That's for our public school spring break, and it's ages for 8 to 12. So if you got kids, don't really know what to do with them, that's a great opportunity, and they're always a lot of fun. We are continuing to try to figure out how we're going to start addressing the 75 April Lake that's out at Howard. So doing some strategic planning with that, and we'll keep you abreast of that as we go along. Also, April 22nd is Earth Day, and so there's going to be some cool activities. Again, you can be outside, socially distanced, and have a lot of great time there at Howard Woods as well. And then we've also got some upcoming river paddle trips and kayak lessons that'll be coming along. So take advantage of that. It's a great center, and they do such a great job. I want to commend Jordan and his team. Communications and marketing. I wanted to update you to let you know that we have our undergoing right now the search for the Senior Director of Communications and Marketing. We'll keep you abreast as how that develops. And I want to thank Kelly Phillips, who's been serving in that interim role, as well as the entire team. We have Danique that's joined us newly as a digital marketing associate, and then Curry Morris, who's the video producer, and Dustin Gurley, who is our brand strategist. So thank them so much. They're doing some pilot programs around our new programs that are being launched with cybersecurity and the health fitness. So I'll be on the lookout for that. And then you can always go to johnstoncc.edu/marcom, M-A-R-COM, C-O-M / when we get this out campus wide, that'll give you the latest information as well. Lastly, Dr. Johnson and I had the best time this weekend. Publix Grocery in Clayton, they are launching a Feeding America campaign. It's a national campaign that all Publix participate in, but they have selected our JCC Elevation Market, which is housed in the Trio suite there. They have selected for us to be beneficiary of the campaign this year. It's so cool. They said to me this morning, they've raised over $4,500, and it goes all the way through Sunday, March 21st. Now, Sean, the manager, and Dr. Johnson, all three of us got to be kind of good buddies. He says, if you come in and are there from 3 to 4 next Sunday, you can get a free sub and be there to do our big kind of bell ringing and cool celebration. So if you'll let us know that you're going to be there, you can send that to Kiana Jenkins, and I'll get this out on email as well. But let us know you're going to be there, celebrate with us. There are funds that are being raised for us here locally. And then for every dollar that's given, then those funds are also go out to our food bank across North Carolina. So it's a win-win for everyone. Go by, if you got some groceries, go by this week and thank the cashiers, thank them for the role that they're doing, because they're really pushing it hard. And we're just grateful to be a part of it. So again, Sunday, March 21st, 3 to 4, be there, and you can get a free sub, and you can help us celebrate the campaign that Publix has participating in with us. Thank you.
Who's
Me.
next? I don't have my agenda.
I'm next.
Okay, go, Mike.
Okay, so first thing I have is go through the construction that we have going on. And we have a capital request list for this year. The first thing on the list is security offices. And we're working with Sarah Gibbs to establish the scope and move forward. Public safety chiller.
Mike, they can't hear you. You might want to come up for us, because they're having difficulty hearing.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start over. So the first thing we had was security office project that we're working with Sarah Gibbs to establish some scope. We put a chiller in the public safety building that was completed and closed out. We're working on putting HVAC controls in Wilson and Elsie. The waiver bid is complete and parts are on order. We have some ADA compliant projects going on, and we're waiting to see if we could use COVID money to replace some faucets, water faucets around the campus. We have a main electrical panel at Elsie. Stafford White won the bid. We're going to need to shut the building down and arrange with Dr. Kelly to schedule that. It'll be awarded soon. The wet glazing at the Britt building, we're waterproofing a lot of the windows out there. They're wrapping that up. That should be done this week. We have a water heater at the health building that's done. We have a diesel tank on order. We replaced the floor in the Britt building that was completed in December. We're going to submit a request to design Jaguar Drive. That's going to be done pretty soon, and we have to submit a request to the state. Floor tiling at the Cleveland Center is done. We have new cabinets and countertops at Imaging. That's a project that's going on now. The old cabinets are removed, and they've done some painting out there. The Howwoods shooting range berms for the rifle and the pistol ranges came in way over what we had budgeted, so we're going to rebid that this spring. The auditorium, we have a number of rooms there, dressing rooms, the green room, studio upgrade, and strip lightings for the floor. We're going to put that all into one big project and get that going sometime this spring. The rigging is complete, and we're going to have a walkthrough at the end of the week. And there's a couple of projects at Howwoods that are on hold. Sanders Building roof, we're going to do internally. And we've replaced some fire hydrants out in the fire training grounds. And we put in a security door in the IT department. And that's our construction update. I'll move on to budget. like Dr. Johnson just said, we didn't have to revert the entire 541,000, so we got to keep some of that. We came in, we were running a little under budget through January and February. We came in about $190,000 under budget, and that helped fund the bonuses. So we're going to use our slight surplus to fund the bonuses, and now we're back to kind of a break-even point at year end. And that's it for the budget.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead, Linda.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me from the distance. I'll put my teacher's voice on. I just wanted to expand a little on Dr. Johnson's phase-in and return plan, as well as share some of our new program initiatives. We are very excited to prepare for our all return to campus, especially this fall, because a lot of our faculty who are 9.5 months, we know that's their return date. So we're excited about that, and we're preparing for that. You might have noticed on the fall schedule, it certainly reflects more of a pre-COVID class schedule, including many more face-to-face classes, while continuing to offer online and blended instruction. We anticipate faculty, as Dr. Johnson already mentioned, returning fall 2nd to their usual workload per policy. Shortly, you'll also hear from Dr. Lee and Amanda Sakanis as we prepare for our upcoming SACS visit, SACS AOC visit, and our next QEP. Instruction and faculty are vital to that process. Whether you have a small or a large role, everyone's contributions are essential. So I know that you'll all be hearing more about that and be just as excited as I am. Some of our new program updates, we have been working on some new programs in the last year or two. It does take about sometimes 2 years to start a program, especially degree programs and curriculum. So some of them that we have already begun, I'm going to share as well, just because this last year with COVID, it seems like we've been sometimes in a vacuum, even though we've been working so hard. And we appreciate all the work that you all do. But we did implement several new degree and certificate options for students this past year. They include our Associate in Science, Computer Science, our Associate in Applied Science, Mechanical Engineering Technology, our Associate in Science and Associate in Arts, Teacher Preparation, our 2-year degree in Cybersecurity, and most recent, our Certificate in Entrepreneurship for this fall. We have some upcoming programs that are still awaiting SACS AOC or state approval, and they include Health and Fitness Science, Supply Chain Management, Digital Media Technology, Practical Nursing, Public Safety Administration. We also have some exciting new CE Con Ed offerings in the works, Intro to Cardiac Anatomy and EKG, and this will provide a foundation in cardiac physiology and electrocardiology for prospective learners who have interest in occupations in healthcare that utilize clinical electrocardiography. We also have a beekeeping course. This is exciting for many of you out there, maybe. And this offers students the opportunity to learn how to maintain hives and harvest honey. Also, a gardening course where you will learn about different vegetables and herbs and the seasonings for each, as well as how to properly plant and harvest, and then transition to the cooking of the produce. A CNC certificate in machining, also in CE, is designed to target underemployed individuals seeking a career in CIM or incumbent workers seeking advancement. And lastly, just as of Friday, we offered our first Notary Public course online, and it was a great success. So thank you for everything you're doing, and we have some great programs in the works. So stay tuned. Pam.
Thank you, Linda. Hi, Pam Harrell. I just wanted to give everyone a kind of a brief overview of what graduation will look like this May. We were hoping it would look more normal, but I think we're still in that transition period. And in addition, you heard on the construction, the auditorium will not be available as well. So there's been a committee, a large committee meeting since January to figure out what that'll look like for our students. And so Our plan is we're going to be holding a modified kind of drive-through graduation where we anticipate students will exit their vehicles at some point, walk across some type of stage or platform, receive their diploma from Dr. Johnson. We're going to have our normal photo specialist, our professional photographers here that'll be able to take some professional pictures of the graduate receiving their diploma. We hope to broadcast this through the radio as well as live stream it for family. And Photo Specialties is going to set up several photo ops around the front of campus where the graduate and their family can take stage photos with certain backdrops. Some could be fun, some could be more serious. So they have an opportunity to commemorate this time. We also anticipate options for faculty and staff to participate similar to what they did last year in some type of line or processional wear. They can wish their graduates good luck and congratulations. And I know Linda, some of her folks are looking at doing something smaller within certain departments. I just want to remind everybody of the dates for graduation. They are on the academic calendar. We did not change those. So on Tuesday, May 11th, Health Sciences will graduate. Wednesday, May 12th will be transfer. And Thursday, May 13th will be our Associate in Applied Science. So as we finalize all the details, we will get all that information out in an email to the campus, but we did kind of want to give you a preview of what that's going to look like in May. And again, the next month or so, we'll be sharing more concrete details as we nail down the logistics for that. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. As Perry is bringing up our PowerPoint, just wanted to say, I know that, exactly what you want to hear on a Monday after, what is it, daylight savings time? Is that what we went to? You want to hear about accreditation. So we'll try to make this as interesting as possible. Have you got our PowerPoint up there now, Perry? Y'all have to give us just 1 minute so that we can actually see the PowerPoint here. There we go. Awesome. And I also would like to thank the members of my team. I had one of them log off so that Amanda Zakinas could actually get on and join this with me. I was very nervous sitting here that I was going to have to do this presentation by myself. So I'm so thankful that Amanda Zakinas will be here with us to discuss the QEP. And by the way, several folks have noticed that we're beyond 100 users now. So if you know of people around you that wanted to get in at this point, it looks like for some reason now our numbers are going above 100. So you can let your colleagues know that it looks like we do have a little bit more capacity in the meeting now at this point. So I wanted to just this is going to be repetitive for many people, but just to get us all kind of on the same page, I wanted to give a little foundation about what is accreditation. Accreditation is a peer review process where a peer team comes into an institution, looks at our educational programs and services, and determines whether that they meet defined standards of quality. Accreditation by a entity recognized by the U.S. Department of Education is required for us to receive any federal funding, such as our Pell Grants, NSF grants, etc. It's also required in order for our courses to be transferable to other institutions of higher education. And not listed on the slide is kind of like the underlying of all of this is following those best practices, following those standards is just best practice. It's good for us to show that we are meeting these standards of quality. Accreditation is conducted by private, non-governmental organizations. And there's two different types of accreditors. There's institutional accreditors and there's programmatic accreditors. What I'll be focusing on today is an institutional regional accreditor, our accreditor, SAC-COC. We have many programmatic accreditors at the institution. We have ASIN, we have the one for radiographic technology. So there's several different accreditors, but for this presentation, we're simply talking about our regional institutional accreditor. So where is JCC in this whole accreditation cycle? The U.S. Department of Education requires that accreditors review institutions on a regular, ongoing basis. SAC-COC has two main types of reviews. One is a comprehensive decennial review that happens every 10 years. And then there's one that's not quite as comprehensive. We don't have to address as many standards, and those happen in between those 10-year cycles. So our last 10-year review was June 2013. And in the fall of 2018, we had our 5th-year interim review. So now we are working towards our next decennial reaffirmation in June of 2023. There we go, couldn't get it to advance. So where are we right now? So starting in November, we had teams that began working on our quality enhancement plan. And Amanda Zakinas will talk a bit more about our QEP in just a minute. We also had teams that are beginning to work on this thing called a compliance certification. This is a document where we address our compliance with 70 some odd standards that SACS has laid out. Each one of those 70 some odd standards has been assigned a primary and secondary writer. So they are now beginning to work on the narrative for those standards. And while there are primary and secondary writers assigned to those standards, they might be reaching out to people across the campus to gather additional information or evidence to show that we're in compliance with that standard. As Linda had mentioned, this accreditation process is going to touch all of us and require all of us to kind of pitch in and do what we need to do for that. So if one of these primary or secondary writers reaches out to you for additional information, please help them by providing that in a timely manner. So we'll be working on this compliance certification until March 1st, 2022, actually a little bit before that, but on March 1st, it's due to the commission. After we submit that, then there'll be a team, it's called an off-site review team that will look at all of our narrative and determine whether or not they think we're in compliance with those standards. From there, they'll send us a report back and saying, you know, we need additional information about certain standards. We will write additional information for them in what's called a focus report. So in the summer of 2022, we'll be working on that focus report. That focus report and our quality enhancement plan will be due August of 2022 in preparation for an on-site review team that will be here on campus October 17 through 20 of 2022. And I know that sounds like a long way away, but it'll be here before we know it. And all goes well during the on-site visit in June of 2023, the SAC-COC Board of Trustees will reaffirm our institution, reaffirm our accreditation. So this is just a very general overview of the timeline that we're working on as a college to get us to that reaffirmation in 2023. And now Amanda Zakinas is going to provide more detail on our QEP.
Hi, everybody. Just a quick information and update on QEP. We can go to the next slide. So the QEP topic must be data-driven and connect to the institution's planning. The QEP topic selection committee sent out a topic survey to JCC employees and consulted several sets of data, including the North Carolina Community College data dashboards and student focus group data. The topic selection survey showed some common ideas, including a first-year experience, updates to student onboarding and advising, and equity practices both in and out of the classroom. Data collected from the North Carolina Community College system data dashboards showed several achievement and success gaps between white and non-white students in persistence, curriculum completion, and transfer success. The topic selection committee also looked at student focus group data. Students were asked what they would want JCC to focus on over the next 5 years. We had a couple of answers that were consistent across the focus groups. Those included increased creative and artistic opportunities, such as classes, activities, and more art-focused spaces, and developing a greater sense of belonging for students through the creation of community experiences that foster JCC spirit. On March 5th, the topic selection committee deployed a survey to get your feedback on the topic choice. Your input was valuable in reframing the topic, so thank you so much, very much, to all of those of you who supplied detailed and thoughtful comments and took the time to complete the survey. So we can go to the next slide. Yep. The idea for a comprehensive first year experience emerged from all of this data and several committee meetings. Some strategies for implementing JCC's first year experience are updated advising processes and inclusive pedagogical practices in the classroom. And the QEP steering committee will take up strategies and implementation plans in detail once they begin meeting. So the topic and initial strategy ideas are known to improve students' sense of belonging and close achievement gaps, which leads to greater retention and success. I also wanted to share just a couple of general next steps for QEP so you all are aware of the process. The topic will be presented to AC for approval next week. If approved, a QEP steering committee will be formed to begin talking about the next pieces, which include strategies, implementation, assessment, and others. And I just want to give a humongous thank you to the QEP topic selection committee members for all of their hard work and dedication to JCC and our students. They have been awesome, and you should all give them a round of applause. And my contact information is on this slide, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So that is a QEP update, quick and to the point as best as I can.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And while this is not necessarily SACS or QEP related, I thought that this would be a good opportunity to share what I think is some very great news for Johnson Community College. This is some information that I sent out to our Strategic Enrollment Management Committee last Friday. And we thought that, you know, the whole college needs to hear this and needs to celebrate all the hard work that everyone at JCC has been doing for the last couple of years. So this image is showing this is from the North Carolina Community College System dashboards. It is showing the % change in curriculum enrollment from fall 2019 to fall 2020. Now, this is curriculum only. This is not continuing education. And if you'll notice, JCC was one of only 2 community colleges in the state that grew in new curriculum students from fall 2019 to fall 2020. JCC was second with an increase of 3% in new students between those 2 semesters. Only Mitchell Community College had a higher percentage increase of 9%. And you see there at the bottom, the system as a whole declined by 17% in new curriculum students. Now this graph is very similar to, or this map is very similar to the other one, but this is showing all students, new and returning. JCC was only one of 8 community colleges in the states that grew in all students from fall 19 to 20. And JCC tied with 4 other colleges for first place in our percentage of growth in curriculum students between those semesters. Johnston, Wilson, Martin, and Mitchell all grew by 4% between fall 19 and 20. And once again, you can see the system as a whole declined by 5% in all curriculum students. Now, our continuing education numbers do show a bit of a different story. But from our spring 2021 estimated FTE and enrollment report that we just submitted to the system office, it does look like our continuing education numbers are starting to build back a little bit. But guys, considering that we're in the middle of a global pandemic, this is phenomenal. And this is all because of the work that you are doing in your areas. And we're very, very appreciative of that. JCC is doing so well with our enrollment that we were recently asked by our marketing assessment consultant, Dr. Kathy Swanson with Claris Corporation, if we would provide kind of a testimonial of our experience with enrollment management. And the document we put together, she liked so much that she's using it for a handout for a conference. So JCC is becoming an example nationally. And I just want to share one of the things that we mentioned in this testimonial is that from the efforts that we've had here at JCC, we saw a 7% curriculum enrollment increase and a 6% curriculum FTE increase from 2018-19 to 19-20. And as you saw, even during the global pandemic, we had a 4% curriculum enrollment increase from 19 to 20. So we will have some digging we got to do as far as FTE goes from after the pandemic, but we are in a much better shape than many of our sister institutions across the state and nationally. So once again, thank you for everything you're doing for JCC. And any questions about accreditation, enrollment management, any of these topics, please feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so much.
All right, I think Angelina is next on the agenda. Angelina, are you there?
I am. Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. I hope you all are doing well and having a wonderful day. As many of you know, I am Dr. Angelina Canese. I'm the Faculty Association President. I will keep my spiel short, but I just wanted to give you a little idea of what we've been doing. It has been an honor to continue serving in this capacity. I'm so proud of our faculty for everything that they continue to do. I wanted to take a minute just to recognize all of our faculty and just how amazing you all have been. You have shown such a resilient spirit as we continue to navigate COVID and just the different experiences that we're facing as a college. And I'm truly humbled to lead an association of such innovative faculty. You all you're absolutely amazing. And if nobody else has told you today, thank you so much for everything you do. And just thank you so much for being awesome. We can't exist without all of you. Faculty Association has been quite productive this year. Hopefully you've been able to stay in the loop on some of the productive things that we've accomplished. Just to name a few, we have continued to host virtual professional development workshops. So there are the annual Lunch and Learn series, and we've been able to take that into a virtual modality, and it has still been phenomenal. So many faculty are still attending and just learning from one another, and it's been really, really great. We've been able to work with the registrar's office to revise the 2021-2022 academic calendar just to better meet the needs of our students and create a better experience during the fall semester for our students. And then we've held informative faculty town hall meetings with our senior administration, and we continue to work with administration to promote positive shifts in campus policies and procedures. So we're quite busy. We're doing a whole lot. For all of our faculty members, if you need any more detailed information or you want to access any past recordings of any of our meetings or workshops, please make sure you see the Faculty Association Blackboard page. And if the Faculty Association Blackboard page is not currently showing up on your Blackboard, please make sure you reach out. Let me know that it is not showing up for you, and we will make sure you get added. Please remember that to be on the Faculty Association Blackboard page, you can be an adjunct faculty member, a full-time faculty member, or a department chair. I'd also like to take a minute to give a huge shout out to Tiffany Ruiz, who has served as our vice president, and Marjorie Parker, who has served as our treasurer. I'm very thankful for them and their service on Faculty Association. They put in a lot of hard work serving in this capacity. With that being said, we are currently underway with nominations and elections. Our nomination period is going on right now from March 13th to the 24th, and elections are running from March 29th to April 9th. So please email myself if you want to nominate yourself or somebody else that you believe would be a great fit for the position. In your nomination, all you have to do is, tell us the individual, what department they're representing, and then why you think they would make a great candidate. Keep in mind, we're looking for passionate officers who are energetic and super excited to put in work for the better of the institution. This is an amazing position. You see the college in a completely different light. You learn a lot about the behind the scenes work that goes on to make our college run in the successful way that it does. So it's definitely a great, awesome professional learning experience. but it's also a lot of work. So please keep that in mind as you're stepping forward. If you have any questions about the time commitments or the obligations, I'd be more than happy to talk to you through those and make sure you feel comfortable before you step into something. Again, if there is anything that I can do for you all, please let me know. Of course, I'm serving as the Faculty Association president, but staff, if you have any concerns or any ideas on ways that we can partner or things that we can do, again, all of us are here working towards the same mission and the same exact goal. And so I'd be happy to, receive feedback or suggestions from anybody at all. So thank you again. I appreciate it. You all know where to reach me anytime, and have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thank you, Angelina. I believe Nikki is next.
Hi, yes, and I finally made it. I was not able to get in, and I was at home and I was panicking. So we took off and loaded up and ran straight up here. So I'm just logged in, and so I hate that I have missed a lot of it, but I don't think I'm still getting myself together after getting here. So hopefully I'll be halfway as put together as Angelina just was. So thank you for all that, Angelina. And we do appreciate the offer to work together. That's something that we hope that we can start to do as far as like getting back in the swing of things and that sort of thing. After this last year, I think that it would be really beneficial to come up with some good things to keep us all going. So we appreciate that. And the one thing that we are going to do today for Staff Association is Staff Person of the Year. So we finally have a chance to get everybody together to announce that for 2021. We're always usually behind the Faculty Association. Y'all do it a little earlier than we usually do, but we just thought after this last year, it would be beneficial to do it on our all personnel meeting instead of just kind of sending it through email. We just wanted to add that little bit to it. So I have a little slide. I'm just going to pop up if I can share my screen. And I don't think I can. Okay, so we may not do that, but that is fine. I don't know if I have that ability, but it's okay if we can't. We'll go on with this for time's sake.
We'll give you rights to share your screen. So hold on for one.
Okay, that's fine. It's not too much to share as far as information wise, but we just thought it would be nice to have some pretties to share and some recognition for those that were nominated.
All right, Nikki, try it now.
All right, thank you. Yes, perfect. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so let's get this going over here. All right, so we are, I don't know if some of you new employees may not be familiar with our Staff Person of the Year, but we are going to do that now and just kind of give you guys a little bit of background. Yearly, we take nominations. We usually request them in the fall or the beginning of the school year, so around August or September. We normally do have those announced by now, but however, COVID, everything that's going on, we were running a little behind with that, and we decided we wanted to wait until the all personnel to announce it. So this is the Staff Person of the Year for 2021. After this step, the person does have the opportunity to go forward with their nomination to the state level. So that is something that will be discussed after the announcement and the timeline for that. So again, this is our Staff Person of the Year award. And we know that there are so many others out there that are very deserving of this award, as well as the nominees that we have now. So we don't want anybody to think that this is just for, these are the only people that have done an outstanding job. We know in the last year that there have been so many people that have done a wonderful job stepping up to the plate. I know everybody that that I've seen, I know that they have all stepped up and would be deserving as well. So these are just people that were nominated for this award, and they're very, very deserving. So we are very excited about announcing them as nominees. We have 3, and like I said, I know there are so many more out there that could be up here as well. So next year, keep that in mind when we request nominees for the next year's award. So we're going to start just naming these off. If you hear somebody in your area, your department, please give them some cheer and acknowledge them. Like I said, they're all very deserving. So we are going to announce those, and April Batten is our first nominee. So I don't know if you're how many people are on right now. Everybody might.
Yay, April!
So April is our first nominee. Everybody, most everybody knows April, and she is just an amazing person to be around. So I was not surprised to receive that information from that nomination. So she is our first nominee. Our second is Perry Frank. And
Yay, Perry! Woo!
So Perry has really stepped up to the plate. We know that with the distance learning and everything that has gone on with classes and everything over this last year, that has been a task. I know that there were several items that were listed on the nomination as far as things that he had worked on. So that's awesome. So we are very grateful for him as well. And our third nomination is Brian Strickland.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are very grateful for Brian as well. Brian has had his hands full with COVID. So we know that that is not an easy task at all. And it's just, it's been an interesting journey. Let's put it that way. So that has not been an easy task for him. And we are grateful for everything that he's done for the campus throughout all this, bringing us back safely as we can be. So we do appreciate that. So those are our three nominees. Like I said, all very wonderful, deserving people, and have worked very, very hard. And so we will get straight to it. So we have the next portion is where we want to actually announce the person that will receive the award this year. And to do that, I have asked the person that has nominated this person to read a little bit about the person and why they were nominated. So if I could have that person do that now, that would be great.
Thank you, Nikki. It's my pleasure to introduce to you the staff person of the year. This person began a JCC career in continuing education in 2003. A graduate of JCC, this person has always had a heart for students and maintained a servant attitude throughout the many years here. Continuing education is very important, and even if you don't know who this is by now. And she's worked a full-time job, full-time mom, involved in church and the community. And because of her attention to detail and passion, this person has been able to move from an assistant position to a registrar for continuing ed at JCC, and continues to seek development opportunities to enhance her knowledge to help others. Over this past year, as you all can probably know, this is April. So this person at the college... April. When everyone was working from home, to stay on top of the direction coming from the system office, she was instrumental in making sure each CE class that wasn't able to be completed in the spring semester was counted and completed in summer or fall of this year, and worked tirelessly with each director to create a plan and make sure all the I's were dotted and the T's were crossed, which is not unusual if you know April. And my last thing here to say about you, April, is I don't think I can say enough about the dedication and commitment that April Batten has given Johnston Community College. She continues to be one of the most essential employees this college has and will always be my outstanding staff person. Love you, April.
Thank you so much, Joy, and congratulations, April. Again, congratulations to Perry and to Brian. We greatly appreciate your hard work and efforts that you guys have put in. Since I've come on here, I can't really remember exactly how it's been done in the past, but I completely think that everybody needs some recognition as far as those that are nominated, even those that are not nominated. So we greatly appreciate all of you and your efforts within the school year and everything that you do here on campus for us. So again, we want to thank you all for your participation in this, for those that have nominated, others for those that have been nominated, and be on the lookout for more Staff Association stuff to come. Again, congratulations to the nominees and to April Batten for recipient of the award, and we'll be in touch, and just look out for more from Staff Association soon. Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, Nikki. It's a lot of work to do these associations. Angelina, you and Nikki both have done a great job, and I've been impressed with the kinds of things that you've been able to accomplish and help us move forward on. So thank you so much for your leadership in these two efforts. There are several things I want to bring to your attention as we close out today. The first is a quick discussion about our PACE survey results. The results are in. I have reviewed all of those results. I've discussed those results with trustees. They have the results. I've had 2 meetings with North Carolina State University for data interpretation, just to make sure that we're looking at things properly and adequately. And so the next step with this is that the Administrative Council and I are developing themes based on the data. And based on those themes, then we'll develop a plan for dealing with some major issues as cited in the PACE survey. I say that to say, I need you. I sound like Joe Biden saying that the other night, but I really do. I need you. If we are to improve, I have to have your involvement. I need you to be a part of the solutions in order for us to get better here at the college. Preliminarily, we'll be looking at these themes and assigning them to different committees or focus groups or ad hoc committees. And I'm expecting everyone who's asked to serve or is already serving on one of these committees to participate. That's the only way that we will be able to improve. Committees will then dig more deeply into the areas of concern and serve as advisory to me and to Administrative Council for improvement. Now, I want this to be face-to-face as we do it, so the real work of committees will not begin until the fall semester. That will also give me some time to process and synthesize these data results and have them ready for attention 1st of August. I will also be looking at operations of the college, how different operations of the college support you and your function and student success. We've got a lot of work to do, and but I am confident. My father-in-law sometimes sarcastically says to me, David, I've got all the confidence in the world in you that you can. I don't say that I have confidence with any manner of sarcasm. I have great confidence in those of you who have chosen to be a part of the JCC experience, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to improve and make our college even better. Quick word on our diversity efforts. We have created what is called our Alliance for Change, and that has resulted in 3 different commissions. Some of you are serving on those commissions. One is to review and look at and make suggestions for the JCC experience around diversity and equity and belonging. That's the reason I was so glad to see that the QEP had reflected that word belonging in its efforts. And I'm hoping that will help us all move forward with our student belonging. Then there's a second commission for branding and messaging. How are we going to tell our story, both internally and externally? And then a commission on community impact. What kind of impact will what we are doing culturally here on campus have on the community? These commissions will be creating suggestions for improvement. And again, as I mentioned, I think may work on specific PACE diversity concerns that were brought up. So I'm grateful to those who have lent their expertise and talents and commitment to making JCC a better place to work and belong. Several of you have asked about holidays, especially the holidays where the holidays that we normally take don't fall on a weekday, but fall on a weekend. I think we put this out in Administrative Council. I just want to say it again. July 4th this year is on a Sunday, so we will observe July 4th on the 5th of July. And then in December, we bank a couple of our state holidays down into December to add to the two the state gives us for December. And those dates will be December 23, 24, 27, and 28. And that's through a weekend. And so it should give us all a good chance to relax and be a part of the festivities and of the holidays and not have to take too much annual leave time. Our engineering building is underway, and we are so excited to see some dirt moving around out there and looking so forward to the opportunity when we can move our programs into that state-of-the-art building. It's being built, I'll remind you, with a $15 million bond that was approved by the citizens of Johnston County. And in addition to that, I hope to have some big news to share in the near future in terms of educational access to JCC programs. Let me close by reiterating some of what I've already said. You are doing amazing work, and I am so appreciative for the work you are doing. And believe me, I know it is work. So I encourage you to keep your eyes on the prize. Keep running the race that's been put in front of us through this year and into next. Ultimately, that race is about student success. And if we focus on that prize, we can't lose. But more importantly, neither can our students. Thank you so much for participating with us this afternoon. I'll call our meeting to a close. If you have any questions, as the others have said, please don't hesitate to send me a note, and I'll be glad to respond to those as I can. Okay. Thank you so much, Perry. Thanks for driving today, and I'm appreciative to Administrative Council for being present. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.